One word that comes to your mind when you heard like about Spanish people.
Partying.
Partying?
And it doesn't start before 11:30 at night.
And then goes till
Never ends.
never ends.
Yeah, reggaeton. And as soon as you switch to other music, they don't like it.
And you?
Bullfights.
Bullfights?
It was a great time living in Madrid.
You
One of
stayed
the
there.
best cities I've seen so far.
For me, it's Tio Pepe from Gonzales and Bayers. In Andalusia, the sherry. Anytime is sherry time.
As Germans, you think about Spain and you think about Ibiza. But for me personally, no, since nobody took food, I love Spanish tapas because it's so diverse. There's so many things on the table and the siesta and everything. Very Mediterranean culture. Love Spain.
And the wine.
Yes.
And paella.
Yes. Yes.
What is this?
Paella.
Paella is a rice dish with mixed rice with fish and
Shrimps.
chicken and
Spanish
shrimps.
biryani,
Yes.
I would
Yeah, yeah, Spanish biryani.
Seafood biryani.
Seafood.
Or
With olive oil.
Andalou.
Must be delicious. And what about Austria? Be honest. Yeah, Austria.
As Germans, we hardly forget that we've been ruled by Austria for 500 years. So we've been very much influenced by Austria.
Especially
And Austria-
the southern part.
No, the emperor, the emperor of the whole Roman Empire was for 500 years from Habsburg, governing from Vienna, and that influenced a lot. But Austria is not Prussia. It's more lovely. Let's put it like that. More sweet.
What about you? What about you?
For me, Austrian accent, or is it dialect or accent? Dialect was always like drunken German. So I can't really take them serious as soon as they start speaking German. It gets very difficult for me.
Okay. They'll listen to it and then.
For me, Austria, of course, it's Mozart. It has to be. It's like the essence of Western classical music. It has to be Mozart and the cakes, the Austrian cakes, Sachertorte, and of course, Sound of Music, which was all short. And it's the dream of every child that is born in India. The first movie they see is Sound of Music, which is shot in Austria.
And you?
I like here in Delhi the Austrian regulars table once in a month in the Imperial Hotel. So this is other people are also there, but the Austrians all the time do this regulars table, and the boss of the Imperial Hotel is Austrian, so all the time there's some nice stuff for free. I love what they organize, so easy going and so on, always welcome, and that's a great feeling.
Austria, skiing, Mozartkugeln, and the horse coaches in Vienna.
Yeah, the Austrians, they are not far away from the Germans. For historical reasons, they are two countries, but we are very close in terms of mentality. Maybe especially if you're from Bavaria.
Wasn't Falco also from Austria? Yes. He's one of my favorite singers. But he died he died in the Caribbean because he drove into a driving bus or something in the 90s.
Got it. And Belgians.
Belgium chocolate.
Belgian beer.
I hate Belgium beer.
I love Gouffre de Liège.
Yes.
Okay, that's it. And you?
Brussels is just like an hour and a half away from where I live.
In Germany.
Yes, in Germany, which is Cologne, and it's everything to do. Brussels is a beautiful, beautiful city, and of course with Belgium, the EU. The capital city, so a lot of bureaucracy.
So bureaucracy would be the word. And you?
Yeah, that's actually one of the first thoughts that crosses my mind. If you talk about Belgium, it's like, EU, Brussels.
But it's also
Yeah.
Leopold II and the Congo.
Oh, yeah. Many people don't talk about it, but they were like, one of the most extreme compared to other colonialists. Yeah.
And of course, the piss boy.
I don't know about it.
See, do a little bit of research. 99% of the tourists who go to Brussels, they go to see this one small statue of the boy,
You're talking
and
the
then
Cupid thing, kind of like Cupid.
No, it's not a Cupid. It's a boy who's just peeing, the peeing boy. And then, of course, directly gegenüber, opposite is the waffle stand, so Belgian waffles.
To mention something else, I think the trilingual country, which I find very, very amazing. I mean, for you, it must not be so thrilling and amazing because you're from India and you guys are 65 or 100. I don't know how many languages, but in the European context, a trilingual country that is this small amazes me a lot. Yes.
Sure. Now let's move to a very important section: beer, chocolate, and some other important questions.
Serious.
Your top 3 favorite German beers, all of you, except Angias, obviously.
Schultheiß. This
This
one, very local,
How
patriotic.
much would you rank this out of?
I mean, I like the light beers. I don't know how to say it. Yeah, and this one is not. This is a Pils because northern part doesn't produce very much light beers, I would say. But since I'm from Berlin, it must be a Berlin beer, right? So this is my number 1. It only costs 70 rupees roundabout in the supermarket. Yes, even like 65, I would say. Yes, not here. And then the other ones have to be what is it called? Carlsberg, I really like, and the Münchner.
It's Danish.
Danish, oh. But what's the Augustiner, natürlich. Immer ein gutes Bier.
And you?
I think most important is that beer is fresh, and draft beer is the freshest one. So apart from that, I love also Helles, the Bavarian lager, and my favorite is Tegernseer. If you talk about Kölsch, not many outside of Rhineland region like it, but if you are there, it's nice, and it also needs to be fresh. And since I worked in Bonn for a very long time, I like Bunch.
Bunch.
Bunch. It's the Kölsch in Bonn.
So it's a mix of the words.
Yes.
And your favorite?
So I have stopped alcohol, but when I was, that's the best thing about nothing beats the feeling of going to a brewery in Germany, small or big, and ordering a fresh beer, because they have patents on that it cannot have any other, which differentiates to your previous question about Belgian beer. They are more fluff. The real beer is the German beer because it just has malt, it has water, and it has the air from the herbs. So of course, for me as a person who is living in Cologne, we have this special Kölsch, which is like very thin glasses, and then you move 25 kilometers or 35 kilometers, and in Düsseldorf you have the Alt beer. So every 100 kilometers or 50 kilometers, the beer changes.
That's cool. Davos.
Yes, I like Beck's beer. And because when I was a student at school, in the certain age, 8 degrees, 9 degrees, we like to sit with a crate of Beck's beer at the side of the forest and drink a beer. So my mother was a teacher. She thought school is something else, but this we love, to sit with a beer, talk with friends, or after football, drink a beer. So I think also after 3 beers, every kind of beer tastes.
So I'm a little biased because my dad was a marketing director from Höpfner, which is in the south, and König Pilsner, which is in the middle, in Ruhrgebiet. And when I had come here, some of the German embassy, they get Flensburger, which is also a very nice beer.
That's true.
But nobody talks about Erdinger, which is freely available here. So if you think
Exactly.
It's the best beer.
Germans, we in India we get Erdinger.
Yes.
It's
so
in
bad.
India we get Erdinger. Nobody drinks Erdinger in Germany.
Exactly.
Beer is
Yeah.
widely drunk.
But anyways, going to the south is also a good idea. So when I drank beer when I was younger, I preferred actually the Bavarian ones like Weichenstephan, Weltenburger. So, yeah.
And Belgian beer or German beer? Who wins?
German beer. 100%. No question asked.
You think so?
Yes, I think German beer, and just what she said, I mean, the beer from every region, from every city, this is so important. I think also Belgian beer is quite funny and so, but German beer, is it really?
And yeah,
One
did you-
special Belgian beer.
Which one?
The Bière Trappiste.
Yes, sir.
The beer brewed by Trappist monks. It's a very, very strong
monks?
beer. It's a black beer. I think it has 15% of alcohol, something like
She
that.
doesn't like it.
Is that even beer still?
But we are surprised about monks, right?
Yeah.
But the fact is that it is the knowledge and the practices of beer making and this thing which came from the monks. So it is not like some
wisdom.
scientist. This thing, it's a
Yes.
wisdom passed over centuries,
Just like
and
in
that was
Mexico,
preserved
tequila.
exactly, and that was preserved by the monks.
That's impressive. I didn't know about it. Thanks for the information. And yeah. You think it's the same, like the same that German beers are much
Yes,
better than the Belgian ones?
absolutely. Absolutely.
How old were you guys when you had your first beer? You tell me. Yeah.
Maybe 8.
He was 8 when he had your first beer.
Yeah, and I mean, you want to be a bit cool like this and so. Yeah,
Wow.
it's like the first cigarette or something like this. So you try. Maybe you don't like it really, but I mean,
Did you like it?
Yes, of course I liked it. Yes.
What about you?
I also started very early, and I really think, the beer is running in our veins.
How old were you? Any idea? 10,
I don't
12?
remember. Maybe.
What about you?
Adolescent, I don't remember.
12,
Could be,
13,
no, maybe 15 around.
Older. That time. What about you?
Yes, same, maybe 14, something like that.
I think I was 12, and I don't think we have talked about it yet. We have these like mixed beers, kind of like Breezer, but way better. And it's usually with lemon radler, yeah, lemon with lemon lemonade. Yes,
Or
so it's
Sprite.
this, yeah, or Sprite. It's the cyclist lemonade. People say this, and with this one, everybody can drink. You don't even feel it.
There is also another one called Drecksack in Cologne, which is a mix of cola and beer. And it looks like a dirt bag. It's literally translated dirt bag because it looks like, a little brownish.
We call it diesel.
Yes,
in,
diesel.
in Berlin. Yes.
I think in Bavaria it's called Russ,
Yeah.
the Russian, with wheat beer.
So you had like with your friends first beer or with your family? Or was like
I mean, when I was young, my mom always let me try. I will remember I was a very little kid. I always wanted to try the white, like nip on it. So this I remember from my whole childhood. I was allowed to try it if I wanted to. So it was just always there, I guess.
That is a big difference to the Indian
Yeah, exactly.
culture and to the Indian upbringing. In Germany, they let you try even at young age, even alcohol or even cigarettes. And they also think, when you try it in a very young age, you do not like it, and then you will not take it.
it's true as well. It's many times. Yeah.
Yeah, so, but I was born in India. And I was born into a household of Indian parents. And the first sip I had was of a Johnny Walker when I was barely 6 or 7. So I just took it from my dad and I said, "Dad, what's this?" And he's like, "Yeah, try it." Of course, it was horrible. But that didn't deter me from having alcohol later. But yeah, I came from a progressive family. So my dad did let me try a little bit.
Now, another question I want to ask you is about one food item that is mandatory during a German meal. I think you have brought something for us. Yeah.
Okay, so I take the lead here. I'm a very, very passionate baker. And one thing which all of you at the table, and I think everybody will agree, is the German bread, which is missed terribly by Germans here. And no meal is complete without bread.
Is it better than French bread? The
Excuse me?
German bread?
Excuse me? Yeah, we're about to get on a way. I mean, we have more than 300 varieties. That doesn't mean one has more butter and less whatever. It's 300 different kinds of cereals and mixers. And Germany is famous for bread. Yeah. And even for the evening, you don't say dinner, you say Abendbrot, which means evening bread.
So it's evening bread, morning bread, afternoon bread?
No. Evening bread is a meal. It's called Abendbrot, which means it's the dinner, which is the essence of living for German is, I think, bread.
Do you guys have German baguette also?
No.
We don't like fluff.
I have to defend the French. I mean, the difference between German bread and French bread is
Diplomatic, yes.
that French bread is normally white bread, but France has a label rouge. This is a quality standard that the dough has to process for at least 24 hours. And this doesn't exist in Germany. I'm really astonished that Germany has not realized
This is like the sourdough, no?
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's no quality standard for it.
Yeah, there is a standard for sourdough, which is right. But essentially, as a baker, you cannot process, the process of baking a sourdough is essentially not less than 24 hours. Yeah. So, one thing is to obviously organize it and say, okay, this is the standard. But the other thing is to say, okay, fine, but you'd still have to do 24 hours of fermentation. Yeah. But I think overall, it is a German, you ask even the French now, they will still go in for, there are too many different kinds of cereals. So French bread is usually based on wheat. German bread is rye, dinkel, I don't know what it's called.
Favorite is so nice.
Exactly. So there are different types of cereals that come in with the combination. So yes, for me, I think the others, of course. What is your favorite?
German, I think German breads are better. Right?
But what I would like to add is what needs to be
On the table.
part of every German meal is a Sättigungsbeilage. It's a satiation side dish. I really looked at Google
What is it?
Translator. That means that each dish, warm dish, needs to have at least either noodles, potatoes, or rice. There's hardly any dish without that.
Yes. I second that also. Me living in an Indo-German household, for me, even after 26 years, for me, dinner is a piece of bread and a cold cut on top and some salad. Mm-hmm. And the morning to start with a chapati or with a paratha is unthinkable.
It's a good one.
Think about something that is always there when you have parties or barbecue. I would say potato salad, very typical.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes.
So it's like potato is an important part of German culture, like the food culture.
Yeah, generally also.
Aloo.
The German culture, I think, is the Bäckerei, a baker shop. Was open at 6:30 in the morning. You go there, and then it smells like this. I mean, this is really something great. And then, as I said already, Brötchen, this crispy thing. You need a special knife, crispy. I eat with a finger the white stuff first, and then bread, strawberry jam inside. This you can't top. This I'm really missing. And when I came, people, what shall I do? I say, just Brötchen. The rest you can forget. But a fresh Brötchen with a cup of coffee, then I don't need any, other thing. But this is really something. And the smell in a baker shop, this is great.
Mm-hmm. And what's the most irritating stereotypes you have heard about Germans?
About Germans?
Yeah.
I think it's if we're getting confused by being rude just because we're being direct, or we are talking about what maybe we did not like in a certain situation and we just communicated directly, and many people might take it as rude. And I think that's where the stereotype partly also comes from, which I think is very overrated, in my opinion.
I fully agree, because when I came here, I was always told I'm rude. So when I now introduce myself, I'm German, I'm rude. So the point is also, for me, in the Indian culture, like she was saying, I've never been so fed and overeaten than I have been here. The most unbelievable situation was that people came to my house, and my mother-in-law, of course, offered the food and all, and they said, no, auntie, we had so much to eat, no. And after she asked 3 times, they started going to the buffet, and it's not that they took a little bite, which we would do out of politeness. No, the full plate was heaped, and my eyes just popped out, and I thought, no, this is unbelievable.
I get it. Yeah. And what do you think?
So, what are the stereotypes? That everything is well organized, that Germans are efficient, and to some degree, it is also true if you compare different societies. But it's not applicable to every single person, of course.
What about you?
Being related to the Second World War, although it's part of our history, and being a Hitler lover or militarist or whatsoever, this really irritates me.
Yes.
But recognizing that it's part of our history, whether we like it or not.
I mean, stereotype as in what we hear about Germans, which is wrong, like negative stereotype.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that's like, it could be anything that's like the straightforwardness.
Yeah,
Not being rude, but
like I live in Germany as a foreigner, so one thing which is very strange is which a lot of Indians also face is staring. And the funniest stereotype is an 80-year-old auntie or a 60-year-old auntie being the policeman saying, "Oh, you dare not cross on the red light."
In Germany.
So we have a lot of policing from the society, which is also good because but some of the stereotypes are negative. But I mean, that's the way it is. We can talk about those stereotypes, but I think overall they're not big negative stereotypes, but some of them are, like in terms of, and the other stereotype which is there is that Germans don't like to host when it comes to eating. So they don't like to feed people, and that's the biggest shock for an Indian going to Germany, going to somebody's place during dinner time and not being served anything to eat.
But it's a stereotype.
I've never heard this one.
Yeah.
I don't even know this one.
Yeah. So now, there's one thing that I want to ask. If anyone is from Berlin, there's this word like, Berliner. How do you pronounce that?
Berliner.
Berliner.
Schnauze.
Schnauzer. Yeah. Berliner Schnauzer.
Yeah. What is it? Like, would you like to explain to our listeners and viewers what is it exactly? And what is it for you as an individual?
I mean, I'm from Berlin, so I think it's supposed to be like kind of like rough language, but I have to say in the newer generations, the Berliner Schnauze is kind of moved to Brandenburg, which is like Haryana to Delhi. And in Berlin, it doesn't exist so much anymore, maybe in the older generations. But there's this saying like, Icke, Dicke, Kicke, Mann, Huppenfleisch und Beine, nein, mein Kind, so heißt das nicht. So I guess it's like being this like rude type of roughness in the language, but it doesn't, I would say that it was an old thing. Maybe you guys disagree, but
what do you think?
Me being from Berlin, it's not a part of the culture anymore, I would say.
I only had one experience. I spent 1 year in Berlin, calendar year, and I was riding a bicycle in January. And there was snow laying in a Brandenburg alley, and there was a car by the Berliner Stadtreinigung, the cleaning institution administration of Berlin. And all of a sudden, the co-driver's door swept open, and I had to steer past it, and I fell. And they laughed at me. And I thought, okay, this is different. I came from Freiburg, which is a very lovely city in the southwest. I thought, okay, now this is different here.
Yes.
But I think Berliner Schnauze means more that they're just saying what they think.
Yeah.
It's just
without any filter.
Without any filter.
And you?
I don't have so much experience. I never lived really in Berlin, but I think also it's this kind of straight. You have your heart on your tongue, and I think it's not bad.
Ready to go.
Yeah, I never experienced anything bad with this.
I mean, I have this one thing which I always sometimes tell that we were in the tram, and that, in Germany, which is also a thing that doesn't exist in India, you let people first get out of the train and then you get on the train, and if you don't do that, so what happened? There was this guy getting into the train before letting people out, and he was like, let people out, you stupid bitch, like really loud. And then there was this mother with her child, and she was like, we're moving to Brandenburg, it's too much, we have to get out of Berlin, please, you didn't hear this. So I guess that might be it.
And if you have to suggest like top 3 places for someone who's traveling to Germany for the first time, what would it be?
Can I go?
Yeah.
Okay, because I'm from
Typical ones like
North Rhine-Westphalia, of course. For me, it would be a city like Cologne because it's the center of Europe for me, really, more than any other city in Germany, because you can go to Brussels, you can go to Paris, you can go to Amsterdam, Luxembourg, all within like half a day kind of a thing, maximum.
During Carnival.
And of course, Carnival, yeah. So people talk a lot in India about the Oktoberfest, but nobody knows about the famous Cologne Carnival. So yeah, the other one would be for Indians would be the Neuschwanstein Schweinstein Castle, which is like the Disney castle, which is south of Germany. And of course, Berlin. Berlin is like the nightlife ever. Better. Anything. I've not seen any nightlife, a city having more of a vibrant nightlife than Berlin. So you have Cologne, you have south of Germany, and you have Berlin. Top 3.
I would almost agree with you. I would have said like North Rhine-Westphalia, like the whole region around Cologne, Bonn. Then obviously Berlin. Mm-hmm. Nobody can miss Berlin coming to Germany. I would say, but for me it's not the south. I would take people either to the Baltic Sea or the North Sea. For me that's a must-see in Germany.
Which one?
Either the Baltic or the North.
Or the North.
Like whatever is, like for us Berliners it was always the Baltic Sea because it's only 2 hours away. Like I spent half of my childhood there and nobody can miss it, I would say.
I'm a child of the South, and if you love really lovely landscape and cities embedded in a beautiful landscape, my top recommendation would be Freiburg, and maybe a very small town in Bavaria. It's called Schliersee. It's a lake in front of the first mountain range, and really secret tip is a small town in Baden-Württemberg. It's called Schwäbisch Hall. Okay. It's really lovely.
Do send me some photos.
Yes.
Yeah, please.
I'm coming from Karlsruhe, and that is on the little toe of the Black Forest.
Oh, the black cake, the Black Forest
Black
cake.
Forest cake, yes. And the cuckoo clock is all from Black Forest.
Yeah.
So I love this. Then Karlsruhe is very close to the Elsac, the French border. So on the weekends we used to go there and have food there and enjoy everything. And then I would say Rothenburg ob der Tauber, which is a very old city with old Fachwerk. What is Fachwerk?
Wooden frame houses.
Yeah. And then I think, what else? Yeah, I would say also Hamburg is a very nice city to go to. Although, I think in all the countries, the North and the South always have a very different opinion from each other.
Just like in India.
Just like in India.
Agreed.
So, but Hamburg, I think, is a very nice place, especially if you want to have seafood.
I just would recommend Frankfurt am Main.
Oh no!
Yes, because it's such an honest city. It's not such a city with all this sugar on top and everything is nice and backwards. I like Frankfurt because on a small place, there's 600,000 inhabitants, but at the river River Main, it's beautiful and surrounded by the Taunus where I live. The Taunus hilly area, Bad Homburg, Oberursel, Bad Homburg, the emperors of Russia, Germany, and this and that, England, they did holidays there. And so I think it's a city where in a very small place you have everything. You have this nice stuff like cozy houses and so, but not too much left after the Second World War. And maybe, but it's ugly, but honest. It's honest on a small space. Rich people on a small place, very poor, very critical, but a lot of culture, the home of techno music and stuff like this.
And
Frankfurt, I mean, Berlin people, they kind of stole it, but
It's from where? The techno?
Frankfurt, the Omen.
and Frankfurt has the most funny dialect in Germany, I think.
Yes,
It's really funny.
And I have to say something else. I know I have already said my 3 regions, but nobody has mentioned almost any Eastern German city. And since my whole family is from Eastern Germany, I need to defend this part as well.
Berlin, we said.
Yes, but Berlin doesn't really count, I would say. I mean, so I have studied in Erfurt. I did my UG in Erfurt. And it's a very nice city. I would recommend Leipzig, Dresden, Erfurt. Super, super, super pretty cities.
Yeah, Dresden.
And way, way underrated with all the other big stereotypes coming from Eastern Germany, especially like since they're very right-wing, everything. And it's not true about these 3 cities. I would recommend everyone to go there.
You know, I really want to say one thing, which is very seriously this thing. A lot of Germany was destroyed during the Second World War because of the
Except
bombing.
few parts, yeah.
Except few parts. And
Sorry.
unlike other European, really, you know, Paris or London, where they have historical things, we have very few of those picturesque, old kind of buildings that have been kept. So except for 1 or 2, like in Cologne, you have the cathedral that was deliberately left aside. And Dresden, for example, half the church is like gone. But it's so fascinating the way the Germans have really preserved whatever they could after the World War. And they kind of went back. And of course, Eastern Germany had a lot of Plattenbau, which is like, you know, the simplistic, you know, it's more a practical way of living. But even that has now become retro. So it's also very interesting. So Germany, yes, so Germany is in all encompassing. It has tradition. You have old houses, as she was saying, Peggy, and you have the new contemporary infrastructure, architecture, and then you of course have whatever is left and has been preserved beautifully. So this is very, very unique about Germany. You get the picturesque stuff, but you also get a lot of
The historical stuff.
the reality check happens in Germany.
And your favorite top 3?
Also from the south, so I highly recommend come in summertime and enjoy it at Lake Bodensee. It's marvelous environment. You can swim there. It has drinking water
That's
quality.
leather pants they wear in South?
Forget about the leather pants. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And don't go to the Oktoberfest and all this
It
nonsense.
sucks.
And then you can do some canoeing on the rivers in Bavaria, which is also just amazing. And one town I would recommend also is Bamberg, which is called the Bavarian Venice. So really enthralling. Yeah.
They have a different dialect as well, right? The Bavarians.
Yeah, it's very different.
And now let's come to the last part of our podcast, the rapid fire round. So you have to just pick one thing without thinking too much. Chai or coffee?
Chai.
Coffee.
In South India, coffee. In North India, chai.
In general, yeah.
No.
Coffee? Yeah. What about you?
Coffee.
Coffee, yeah.
Coffee.
Chai is fine.
Auto or Uber?
I mean, what?
It's
what
a
is the
rapid
auto?
fire. You just have to pick one
I
thing.
take an auto in Rapido or Uber.
Oh, as in auto.
Auto rickshaw. Auto rickshaw. Tuk-tuk.
rickshaw.
But I mean, you can take a tuk-tuk in Uber.
No, like the tuk-tuk or Uber.
That's the German girl talking. Be clear about your question.
Yeah, so basically like the tuk-tuk or the cab or car.
I take auto, but through Uber or Rapido.
The cab.
Short distance auto.
Yeah. And then favorite Indian street food?
Dabeli.
Dabeli is good.
Golgappa chaat.
Golgappa chaat, you?
Veg patty. Veg patty.
Veg patty. Okay. That's it.
Pani Puri.
Golgappas, of course.
And you?
Samosa?
Samosa. I love samosa. Berlin or Paris or London for fun?
Berlin.
None of them.
Which one you would say?
None of them.
What's your favorite? Which one you would pick? Like any other?
London, maybe.
London. What about you?
Paris. when I was young, and we were sitting together, all of us in our 20s, let's say, and, around 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, what do? Let's go to Paris. And we went to the car and we were, changing the drivers and all. Ladies were sleeping in the back. By 4 o'clock, 6 o'clock, we were latest in Paris. And then we had our croissant and coffee. And in the evening, we went back. So it was fun.
That's good.
Berlin never sleeps. Yeah. Great.
I would choose Paris.
What about you?
I said first. I was the first one picking up Berlin.
Yeah,
no discussion. No discussion ever.
No, I'm very, very conveniently located. So for me, but personally, London, because you can just, exactly what Peggy said, you just take a flight, half an hour, take down, and then come back in the evening. Beautiful city.
But I have to add something. As a student, also picking Berlin because it's the cheapest. London and Paris are
super, super expensive.
Not possible for any young person.
Punctuality or flexibility?
Punctuality, any day.
He would go for flexibility, right?
Yes, flexibility, easygoing life. Yes.
You can be punctual and still flexible after, right?
No, but you have to differentiate between private and business.
Yeah, yes. True.
So in the work life, I do not like it, especially when the bosses always come late, here in India at least, True. And then they want you to sit, for whatever late hours because they were late.
Sure.
More on the punctuality side.
Yeah.
And
flexible punctuality.
Mountains or cities?
Mountains.
In India, mountains. In Germany, cities.
That makes sense.
Cities.
What about you?
City, I like city life. I love to live in Delhi. So many people, such a lot of things to do. Often there's much more to do than you can do in one evening. So I love it.
Instead of mountains or cities, I would take the beach.
That's what I was thinking.
Do you have any place in India, like to go, maybe Goa or something, the beaches? Or maybe South India?
When I was still in Germany, somebody was telling me you have to go to Goa. It's so beautiful. The beaches, you can spend the night there. It is amazing. And here I go to, what's it called? Kalagul?
Yeah, I'm not able to remember, but I get it.
And I thought, this is what is nice.
But have you been to South or North Goa?
Yeah,
I think that's the big.
So it was a grey beach, full of Indians in their banyan, in their saris, in their salwar kameez, and I was like,
shocked.
That was really a shock. And then, the north, I did not like so much, although you have much more to do in the north.
But still,
and
like south.
In the south, that Goa I really liked.
Yeah, that's more fun. South. I like even the old Goa, but again, you don't have beaches there. Yeah. But it's fun, to explore. Yep.
Yeah, mountains, because we're in cities anyway all the time.
I just, since we have gone past the rapid fire, we're still discussing. I go to Germany to sleep, and when I come here to Delhi, I have to work. So for me, peace is all about, where you find that relaxation time. So German cities are equally peaceful.
Beer with friends or wine with dinner? What? One thing you have to pick. Beer with friends or wine with dinner?
Beer with friends, just because I don't enjoy wine.
I prefer wine with dinner.
Wine with dinner.
What about you?
Yeah, I also prefer wine. But the Indian wine, I was in Nashik. On 2 days, we had 6 Weinproben, so 6 degustation, wine tasting. So I love it. Together with friends, to drink a good wine, this is good.
Both is very welcome. Beer with friends or beer with dinner, or wine with dinner and wine with friends.
Being with friends is fine. Beer and wine, I don't need.
You have left now.
Plus in India, wine is just too expensive. Yeah. So I would go for beer with friends anyway.
One Indian habit you have adopted.
I had not.
No?
All the time. Yes.
What about you? This?
Yes.
Then, you. But we don't do it like all the time.
That's the stereotype.
You do.
Obviously not, but if you you try to understand something, you're like,
It's true also in many ways, yeah.
To take a snan, a shower with a big bucket and a small bucket, and so on, to save a lot of water.
And also to ask at least 3 times, don't you want to take more?
Just to be sure.
Yes.
Yeah, just TK and Acha.
TK
They
and
come
Acha.
naturally now.
And how many times a day you check the weather app?
never. Since I've been to Delhi, I don't think I've ever checked.
Only for the
Why? But only the AQI app.
Exactly.
Yeah, but it's never accurate. At least on my phone, it's not.
The
It's
extra
like
says
it
500
says
rupees.
rain, it never rains. It says it's hot, it's never hot.
So you have stopped
don't
looking.
do-
What
yeah.
about you? Never?
No, never. I never check any weather app. No, I never check any weather app, and so I just take it like it is, and so.
And one German habit you will never give up.
Being direct in my communication. If I don't like something, I will respectfully tell the person, and I will never eat more than I want to. This is something I can't. If I'm full, I'm full, and I don't mind. I don't care if the person finds it rude, and I'm very sorry for them.
When I came here, my husband told me, don't take things so literal. And I never really understood what he meant, until, it is actually meant, don't take me for the word I'm saying.
Yes,
you know,
it's true.
it's completely different. And for me, that's the most difficult thing to accept.
Yeah, true. That does make sense, yeah.
Just taking off the shoes at home. No.
So the one German habit that I would never want to give up, which I've learned with a lot of difficulty, is to take responsibility for my own actions, which I said in the beginning. That independence that you get, you take the accolades, but also you take the critique, as important as that. And of course, punctuality is something that I've learned with a lot of pride.
I will never give up listening to Bach's Christmas oratory in the time before Christmas.
And you?
I don't have such a German thing so much, but I think the thing what's inside built in is kind of being on time. Even I don't think it's so important, but it's like this. Sometimes I think I'm like a German robot, so my life is so systematic, and so sometimes I think now I can sleep long. I must not stand up at 6:30. Then I wake up by myself at 6:28 and say, I can't be like this. So sometimes I think my life, even the holidays, and so I just had holidays, but it's just the same. I can't
During
jump
the whole
off.
podcast, you were talking about flexibility, and now you say you're not going to do it.
But it's kind of a built-in mechanism inside me. Yeah.
Yeah, it's in the DNA.
We also made this thing. What is it like? Would you like to
Salad.
talk a little bit? It's the German salad, right?
It's an egg salad.
It's eggs. It's like the typical thing in Germany.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's made too spicy for a typical German dish. It's not spicy
But
for us, it's not spicy for an Indian. But if you would serve this to a
every-
German,
Yeah.
no, but to a German in Germany, my parents, for example,
Yeah.
they would not have it because it's too spicy.
Plus masala.
Yes.
Like the Indian version
It's,
of the German.
yes, exactly.
Egg salad.
Eiersalat.
Egg salad.
Eiersalat.
Egg salad.
Egg salad. So it was an amazing conversation with all of you. And thank you all for bringing your stories, your humor, and your honesty. And we had a great and amazing time with all of you. And I hope you enjoyed this amazing conversation.
Thank you. We loved a beautiful afternoon, and thank you all for having us.
And special thanks to Peggy for being such a wonderful host for everything. It really
Thank
meant a
you
lot
for
to
getting
us.
all of us together.
Yeah, again, it's not an easy task, when you have to bring everyone together. But I'm I'm so happy that we were able to do it, and you guys were so amazing. And thanks for being so kind.
Thank you too.
And would you like to say any word for to our listeners and viewers? Kuch bhi?
Come to Germany.
Yes.
Visit
Yes.
us in Germany, and Germany is really, really open. And it's against all this thing. If somebody says, Germany is not welcoming foreigners and all, that's not true.
Yeah, what should I add? Come to Germany. It's nice.
Say that, like,
it's great. It's
subscribe our
inspiring.
YouTube channel. Yeah,
That's true.
Cosmopolitan.
Cosmopolitan, German Sam, whatever.
Yeah, I'm half German.
Come to Delhi, come to India, visit for once. It's worth it.
To all our German listeners. Yeah, you.
Learn some German words like Prost.
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 Yes, then we can just cheers.
We say Jai Mataji.
Yeah. And what about you? Don't say
If you really want to go for long, walks,
Yeah.
you know, this is something which I really miss.
Yeah.
You know, going into the forest.
Yeah.
And in autumn time, you know, to collect some mushrooms, you know, which are easily available
That'd be
there.
so cool.
You know, or if you have a dog, you know, just to go with the dog into the forest and just let it run, and these kind of things. That's actually the only thing I really miss.
Oh, and one last thing,
Yeah,
which is
please,
very, very
please,
important.
please.
You can maybe do it later. Whenever you, it's one thing as an Indian.
Yeah.
When you go to Germany and you drink and you're doing cheers to people,
Yeah.
please look into their eyes.
Yes,
because
I was
it
gonna
is
say
so important. You have to look into their eyes because it's a.
Do you know what happens if you
Yes.
don't do it? Say it. Should I say it?
You say it.
So if you don't look into the eyes, that means 7 years of bad sex.
Yes.
And even all my family has adopted. My parents, my mother would not dare to not look into my eyes when we do a post. So that's very important.